Good afternoon, y'all. Happy Sunday. Happy blessed day, of course. It is currently September 14th. It's like 1:38. I will say though that I did get my day started bright and early today. I started my day off with a nice bubble bath. I watched my church sermon while I was in my bath. Beautiful, just so relaxing. Smoked me, a little blunt afterwards, of course. I was like, maybe I shouldn't smoke in the name of the Lord. But yeah, got that done. I got all the rest of my cleaning done for the day except my turtle's tank. So we're definitely off to a good start on this lovely day. Also, I want to just say that my friend had gotten me these mics like 2, 3 years ago on my birthday. I kid you not. And I'm not really used to using a mic for my videos. I'm not really sure if I like how that first clip sounded with the mic attached to my collar versus in my hand. So we're just going to see how this video goes with the mic. Either way, y'all going to hear me. So today's vlog is going to be a little bit different. I feel like it's kind of more on the serious side. I feel like people are used to seeing my goofy personality, me hanging out with my friends, turning up outside. But for me as a content creator and a content creator who is in therapy and has had certain diagnosis, I just feel like I want my platform to also be a safe space. I want my platform to be a space that people can come to watch videos over, to remind themselves, certain things in life, it's okay. You are never alone. You, even if it's a stranger on the internet, when someone makes it known that they're a safe space, you can absolutely go to people out there. And I like to know that I'm a safe space for people, whether they are friends, family, or even a stranger on the internet. All my life, I have definitely been somebody who has never been afraid to speak my mind. I've never been afraid to really defend myself or even other people, especially when it comes to my family and close friends. I've never been afraid to pop off. And that can be good and that can be bad. In the moments where I feel like I'm popping off very easily, or I was quick to snap or be angry, I feel like when I have calmed down, I look back at it like, there are different ways you could have gone about that now that you're in a more calm state. Um, and as I grew up and got older, I felt like that was more of the instance. It wasn't so much of, self defense. It was more so of you're just quick to pop off, you're quick to be angry, your moods are just, from 0 to 100. And it's like, as an adult who is self-aware, I knew that there were more things I wanted to figure out, and I knew it was something deeper than just, oh, I have anger issues or I'm quick to snap off or pop off. Because sure, I've had my moments in life where I could maybe be a mean person or came off mean or rude, but genuinely, I have a very big heart. I'm not a mean or rude person, for a living. Like I said, I like to be a safe space for people, so you can't do that and be a mean person. But I knew that I wanted to dig deeper into what I started noticing about myself. When I lost my third and final aunt to cancer in 2023, I just I knew, on top of other things that I had went through in life that I don't necessarily want to cover in this video. We can maybe come back to that at a different time. But I knew that it was time for me to do deeper work and get more help. And fortunately for me, my mother is a big advocate for therapy. She's my number one supporter with therapy. And she had always encouraged me to get it, especially because she is someone who has gotten therapy herself. Um, I come from a family where fortunately we do believe in therapy. We are there for each other. We encourage it. And I knew that just after so much loss and heartbreak, I just I needed to get deeper help. So that is what I did. I had finally went back to therapy in 2023, and it was genuinely the best decision I ever made. I absolutely love my therapist. Shout out to Teresa, girl, because I am going to be telling you about this on our next session. But it was definitely the best decision I ever made. And I am just very happy that, most importantly, I come from a family and a mother who believes in therapy and supports it, encourages it 100%. I know people personally, especially even in my closer circle, who really know that they want or need therapy, but they just unfortunately come from a background or come from families who don't necessarily encourage therapy, believe in it, sit down and talk to them about it, dig deeper into their mind or their feelings. And it's very sad, because I'm just so grateful to have that. And I couldn't imagine not having that. But I am definitely here to tell you that therapy is helpful. I know people have their difference in opinions, and I'm not here to force it down your throat. I'm here speaking on my experience to let you know that therapy is definitely a great help. It can open up a lot about your mind. You didn't even know your feelings. It can also bring you to diagnosis. And that is what I'm about to jump into next, which is the main subject of this video. But once I get to a certain point, you're going to understand why sometimes it may seem like I'm all over the place. That's not the case, I swear. And in no means am I a doctor. I am not a therapist. This video is to not diagnose anybody with anything. I'm speaking on my personal experiences, but to also help people maybe dive into their own personal experiences. But when I went back to therapy, and on top of needing to heal from grief, there were other things I knew I wanted to touch on. And my therapist basically made me make a timeline from the beginning of my life to the current life. And I brought up to her concerns, within myself. And basically, what it, comes down to is yes, I was diagnosed with ADHD, anxiety, depression, and bipolar. Now, for some people, you're probably thinking, shocker, I'm a joker. I'm only joking on myself. I'm not making jokes of anything else for anybody else's experience. I'm just a joker for myself and my own life experiences. But those were my diagnosis. And for me personally, it wasn't a shocker. But again, with therapy comes self awareness. I had that self awareness to dive right into it like I wanted to, and like I did. Now, with being diagnosed and finding these things out about myself, I was able to find out things I didn't know prior to therapy, of course. Like these things go hand in hand. If not all four of them go hand in hand, majority of them do. And I know y'all are probably like, damn, that's a lot. It is, but I feel like with the awareness and going out for the proper help and doing the work, it's easier to understand. And sometimes, depending on who you are, it's easier to maneuver with and know how to operate. If I'm going to be honest, I'm still learning how to operate with these things. I'm still learning how to maneuver them. I'm still learning if certain medications I was taking for other diagnosis even work for this diagnosis. So, it is still a process, but I could tell you right now, it's probably something I wouldn't be able to do without the help of my lovely therapist and, of course, other doctors, but definitely her. Oh, when I was diagnosed, if I'm going to be 29, I was 26 years old when I was diagnosed. Okay. And at first, I was like, I don't know if this is something that I should be embarrassed about, feel ashamed of. Do I feel different about myself or do I still feel normal? And in my opinion, those are absolutely normal things to think and feel, especially when you've gone damn near all your life without a single diagnosis. Um, and it really didn't take me long to realize no, there's nothing to be ashamed of. There's nothing to be embarrassed of. Another fortunate part that does come into play is I have a very great close group of friends and family members who also make me feel like and know that there is nothing to be ashamed of when it comes to any of those diagnoses. I am still the same person. Still the same loving and caring person. All my people in my circle around me are still going to love me the same. So I'm very fortunate to have that. But I could tell you right now, you guys, even if you don't have that, you got to love yourself enough to remember these things are nothing to be ashamed or embarrassed of. And the work to overcome these things or the work to maneuver and operate through them can be done. It definitely can be done. You have to want to do it, but it can be done. So I'm just really happy that I didn't really feel any different about myself. It didn't really take too long to process. It was just a matter of, okay, now we're going to do the groundwork to get to the next phase, the next step in life, to elevate. There, to elevate. For people who are not in therapy, for people who maybe are in therapy and you just don't have these diagnoses, you're just going to therapy simply for whatever your purpose and reasoning is. I do think it is important that when you have friends or family members or even yourself who are diagnosed with certain things or any of these things, especially, that you take the time to dive deeper and really understand how they can affect a person, how they can affect that person's mental, their emotions, how it can affect them just as a person in general. Because there are some people out there who don't know how to handle certain diagnosis, like, and that is okay. That is okay. That does not make you a bad person. It doesn't make you a clueless person. It doesn't. You are still human at the end of the day. But I think it is very important that when you have people like friends or family members who have these diagnoses, that you really take the time to dive deeper and just understand how it can affect somebody, especially in a relationship, whether it's a friendship, a romance, or just in family. Um, but some people may not know how to handle certain things to where your reaction can make it even worse for them. It can be a domino effect. And I just think that it is very important that you dive deeper and can understand how these diagnoses can affect somebody, because um I had to explain certain things to my mom, even on how certain diagnoses affect me, or how this affects me in this way or that way or this way. And I can appreciate that as my parent, she took the time to understand or do research or even talk to her own doctors or therapists to get insight, because it's just important. Consideration of other people is very important, but especially in times like this. Another super important thing that I have not once mentioned, that people are probably like, are you going to get to, probably one of the bigger reasons why people don't go to therapy? The expenses. I know that therapy is extremely expensive. I'm very aware of that. I know a lot of people do not have the insurance to go to therapy. Trust me, in this world and economy we're living in, everything is expensive. But I know that therapy and insurance is through the roof. They do have sources out there. There are people out there. There are group centers out there. There are discounted sessions out there. Again, you just have to do the work. You have to do the research. But if therapy is something that you want and may not be able to afford, when you do the research and the work, you will find that there are plenty of sources out there that are willing to help people at discounted rates. I am stressing this because if there is anybody who happens to be watching this and that may be your only excuse, I'm giving you a reason to no longer make that an excuse. And it's free. It's free. That was free. If your friends or family members or anybody, comes to you with these types of topics or opens up to you about potentially having any of these or any other diagnosis, um, just really know that consideration goes a long way. Diving deeper and asking them about their mental, asking about their emotions, letting them know that you're there, understanding these, diagnosis or conditions more by doing research will go an absolutely long way. The goal of this video, or the purpose of this video, was not to have you guys sit down for hours and just listen to me ramble on. Again, a big reminder here, and I don't know if it's obvious, but I'm not a doctor. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not any of that. I'm not. So I'm not here to diagnose you. I don't want you to run from this video and say, well, she diagnosed me with this, because I didn't even really dive that deep into each topic. Why? Because I still have knowledge to learn. The purpose of this was to just inform everybody the importance of consideration, doing your knowledge on certain diagnoses that people may have in your family or inner circle that they're trying to navigate through. The importance of remembering that if you are diagnosed with bipolar, ADHD, anxiety, depression, like myself, it is okay. You are not alone. There is a safe space out there. And what I'm about to say, I'm not forcing religion on anybody. Please know that. I am not doing that. But the power of prayer is so strong. The power of prayer for guidance and wisdom and strength and whatever it is that you need to pray for yourself is so real. Opening a Bible, reading one verse a day, talking to God. Like I said, I'm not forcing religion. I'm speaking on my own personal experiences and things that help me navigate. When you take the time to seek the help, if you can, um, and you really speak to the Lord and you do your Bible work, your prayer, your scriptures, God will move mountains. And if your God is a therapist, that therapist is going to move mountains. I promise you. I'm literally speaking from my experience. I know I am still very much working on myself, but I can say that I do love the progress that I have made. And I love that I didn't really let the whole propaganda that some people try to push out of, well, what's the point of therapy? I'm not going to talk to somebody who I don't know and just spill my life out. I'm glad I did not let that get to my head, because again, for me personally, it has done wonders. I love the woman and the person I am becoming. I love the journey that I am on. And I just want others to feel that way if they're in the same place and the same shoes as me as well. But if there's anything that you guys took from this video, I just want you guys to know that it is okay. There is help out there. You are not alone. You are not different. You are not a bad person. There are ways to maneuver through these things. And I really just wanted to make it clear that my platform and who I am as a person, this is a safe space. Um, I am on other platforms as well. If you guys look in my bio, you can find them. You are free to message me. Let me know, hey, I'm messaging you from your YouTube video. Like, I am definitely open ears. I am always here to listen. I am always here to give advice and help. I don't care if we are strangers. I am definitely a safe space for people. And I love being a helper to people. I love letting people know that there are others out there who care and that will be there for you, and that there is help out there. There is. And don't ever be ashamed of needing therapy or wanting it. Don't. It's probably one of the greatest things that you could ever put yourself through in life if needed. I am going to wrap this up though and enjoy the rest of my Sunday. I love me a nice, clean, beautiful, good smelling home. I got like 3 candles lit right now, you guys. I'm not even kidding. I just love me a nice, clean home. Fall is around the corner. I had to make sure my house was ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and enjoy the rest of my Sunday. I hope everybody had a great and safe weekend. I hope you all have a beautiful and blessed Sunday. Say your prayers, stretch, drink your water, mind your business. Thank God for another day. Prepare for another week. Sunday definitely, I feel like, sets the tone for your week. So just have a blessed rest of your day. Always remember, this is a safe space. And most importantly, I love you. I love you, love you, love you. Okay, bye.